So what is up, guys? The Crimson Defender back here with another video, and today, guys, let me take these headphones off real quick. So I'm sorry that the green screen looks like this. I'm recording off of OBS Studio with the green screen for the first time, so I'm sorry about that. I'll try to fix that in the future, but we're going to be reacting to Supposed's video, also to go more in depth about what is happening with the Sweatless Squad. So let's get into it now. So I'm about 3 minutes in. We're going to rewind back a little bit so we can get to it.
To keep the microphone away from my mouth. Anyways, I don't know what about.
This is actually nothing like a normal gameplay video. This is actually a really serious video, a more commentary video about what's been going on with me and my reaction on the fact that I actually just got kicked out of the Sweatless Squad, which is a squad that Crimson Defender
I did not put it
just created back in April, I think, and I just want to discuss everything about my reaction of it, how I felt, and why I actually want to come back. How do I feel about Crimson?
I'm going to say this one thing, though. Supposed, I'm very sorry to say, but you have about a 1% chance of coming back, which is just 1% higher than Zero Brian. Well, 2% higher than Zero Brian, because Zero Brian isn't coming back at all. Yeah, not happening, and you're like, and I know everyone is like, Crimson, are you stupid? You're the villain. At this point, I don't care, because I'm already being painted as the villain, but there's more going on behind the scenes. There's more personal stuff behind the scenes that I really shouldn't get into because it breaks personal information and stuff like that, and I don't know if Supposed would be content with that.
Saying all those things, and I just wanted to let everyone know how I am doing right now. So far I'm feeling well, but
I'm glad to hear it.
The fact that I'm just feeling so concerned about this, and the reason I'm making this video is because Crimson after.
And the one thing I actually want to mention, this is something actually Supposed could hear too. Now seeing how Camp Crimson went, and in the aftermath of that, I am super duper glad we did not do 1v1v1 survival edition. That would have been a dumpster fire. Like, I'm not even joking. That would have been an actual dumpster fire. If you thought Camp Crimson caused a lot of tension, you should have seen that. And remember, this was at the time that Zero Brian was still in the squad.
After he kicked me out, Crimson abruptly just keeps leaving me and Oliver Star away from a group chat, and he would never answer our calls. We invite him to our party, but he never joined, and it seems like he's now trying to avoid us. And I just wanted to say something out loud and just want to speak, give a speech to him, give just a wonderful, normal conversation, and the fact that I can't even contact him at all, that he won't listen to me, I felt like making this YouTube video is the only way just to get his attention, because it's been kind of a more concerning video that I just need everyone to just bear with me right now, because this is a more serious matter that I have to discuss about. And without any else further to do, let's cue the intro.
Still a pretty good intro, by the way.
And here we are playing a private match with me and versus Oliver. But here's the first discussion I need to make. The first time where I was introduced with the fact.
Okay, but can I say those camera settings? Oh my God, for Rocket League, that isn't an attack on Supposed, but there's just those camera settings.
With the video that soon told me I was kicked out, I was pretty devastated at the time, and I was really saddened a lot about it. A horrible thought. And another thing I had to know, when Crimson Defender revealed that he had kicked me out, surprisingly, I didn't really act too saddened. Usually in these moments, I would just feel so sad.
And this is the text at the top, or the bottom, is again something I'm talking about, where I could say I hate when people do this, and kids do it on TikTok all the time. When people fake or overreact having a certain disease or something like that, when it's not actually diagnosed by an actual doctor and you show no signs of it. or you just overreact it. Like, I see kids faking Tourette's and ADHD and depression, which is kind of what's happening here, where you kind of have to get this diagnosed by a doctor and have to show a lot of symptoms to actually be considered depressed. That's kind of how it works. Like, I was diagnosed by a doctor with ADHD, and you could barely tell. And there are kids on TikTok who fake ADHD and are like really like antsy and all that. No, that's not how it is at this age.
That I just will just not want to talk to anyone for like a while now, and we can agree, right, Oliver?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to kick you out of this squad.
Yeah, Oliver technically still could be in the squad, but I kind of, like I said in my last video, I completely understand why he doesn't want to be in the squad. I mean, who would want to be in the same squad as a person who dissed your cousin on live television or something? Who would want to do that? So I completely understand, but it's still unfortunate for both sides.
Why you have to do that?
Exactly. When I first found out about this, surprisingly, I wasn't actually surprised at all, because I have to confess something nice. Before I was kicked, Crimson noticed me acting weird recently, like I wasn't being myself recently. In fact, I started acting kind of like a tougher guy, because I thought Crimson just wanted me to become the tougher guy of the squad instead of like the weakest one.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention there's guy humor that some people, actually a lot of people who aren't a part of like an actual squad of teenage boys, don't really understand that humor, in which all of our humor is sarcasm targeted at other people in a certain tone that you would know it's a joke. Sometimes when suppose you use some of those, he said it in a tone that didn't sound like a joke, even though I think it was a joke, or sometimes he actually was meaning it. It's just very that kind of humor is very confusing. So yeah.
And I just decided to just change my own personalities to a person who is more confident with themselves and who is basically just feels tough and strong right now.
But don't be Zero Brian. Don't be cocky. Don't be Zero Brian. Don't be like that.
But then it kind of turned worse when I started acting like, kind of like not a jerk, but kind of started acting rudely with.
Now I know Suppose is gonna want to change, and he is making a change, and you guys are in the comments are saying, thinking in your head like, Crimson, he's gonna change. Why won't you let him back in? There's a lot more to that, and again, like I just said, it's a lot of personal stuff that I don't want to kind of put out there in the world right now. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on personally, and also it's just way more than that, because let's just say I'm not falling for it again like I did when I fell for it with Zero Brian. When he said he would be good, then he was for like 2 weeks, and then started acting out again. I'm not falling for it again, and I don't want to fall for it again. But let's just continue on with the video.
I didn't realize I was acting this rude until some people in the squad started noticing that I was kind of acting a little bit off-putting, and it seems like the final straw for Crimson's when I kind of just started yelling, because, well, first things first, the reason I just became like a hardcore angry gamer is because I just got it from Crimson. Crimson, like, apparently, quote-unquote, inspired me to do all this, because his own motto was all about raging, since that's legit.
I would get mad at that, but I would get mad at that and say he's blaming me again, unintentionally, but it is sort of true, so yeah, kind of.
What he's all about.
Kind of true.
And,
not entirely, though.
When I was... Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I've been stuttering a lot, and I just like to apologize.
We all have been stuttering a lot.
I know, but, the last straw for Crimson was he noticed me acting way too different than I usually was, and I kind of knew that this would happen, but the fact that this happened out of nowhere just makes me puzzled to the fact where I was kicked out after when me, Crimson, and Oliver just won a solo match, and I thought it was a good way to help calm each other off, and I didn't act different at the time. But for whatever reason, though, apparently he apparently just kicked me out anyways. And when I first heard about this, I was pretty mortified and saddened about.
I'm really gonna say this because you guys aren't gonna understand unless I say. So if this video does get 10 likes, or if this video gets a considerable amount of likes, then I will share about the other reasons why, the reasons outside of Fortnite, Rocket League, and Minecraft of why this thing is happening. Suppose is kind of oblivious to it, but almost everyone around me knows exactly what I'm about to say, what I was going to say. So let's just continue on.
This, but for whatever reason, at the same time, I already knew this was coming because I knew if I don't change the way I act, then something like this would happen. And I was too late to change it, and it seems like Crimson was like, okay, I think he just needs to take a long break. But why kick me out? Like, I could...
Long break, as in, like... Well, you never specified how long the break was.
They're just taking, like, a short break just to help me out with the situation. But, yeah, but, I can understand why. We took a break before. Back in Season 6, we had a huge argument that's gone wrong. And, it was all mostly because...
I completely remember that, and that was mostly Zero Brian's fault. Yeah, that was... You remember how crazy Zero Brian was.
Zero Brian's fault?
I say this as behind the scenes, suppose was a mini Zero Brian. Wasn't Zero Brian, but was a mini Zero Brian.
Back then, in the squad, Zero Brian was originally here, but we had to kick him out so badly because how much trouble he is causing. So much trouble that he even goes so far as to legit steal Crimson Defender's credit card information, caused a lot of bullying online, and so much more that it was just unbelievable. And another fact that why Zero Brian is gone is because the way he keeps making fun of us in the background whenever we don't do videos, because his whole rant of how much he hates us and how much we cause problems was out of control. We were just like, we're done. Zero Brian is officially gone forever. And the credit card.
Okay, hold on, guys. I did not actually realize that the display was on oh my god, guys, the display was on display 1, so let's actually change it to display 2 for now. I am so sorry about that one. That was my bad. So let's keep continuing on with the video.
Last straw, because apparently
I'm sorry about that. I don't know if you could hear him or not.
Far over stealing $28. I think it was 28 or 7. I don't remember.
Okay.
But he stole all that money just to buy V-Bucks, just to go to show how much he's a Fortnite kid.
And actually, let me just check something else real quick on OBS. Let me just check some other things. I'm sorry about this. I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, let's keep doing with that. Okay, let's keep. I had to make sure. I had to make sure you guys could hear. Suppose.
Because Fortnite little kids always spend so much, like,
that is true.
Fortnite kids would just steal their parents' credit card just to purchase V-Bucks.
That's very true.
That's the thing that kind of disgusts me, because I would never ever steal money from my own cousin. Yes, not Oliver, just to get V-Bucks.
Nah.
Like, who does that?
No, and then I don't even.
Yeah, to the Fortnite kids watching this who do that, there's a thing called waiting. It sucks, but trust me. But trust me.
Any money just to buy with some V-Bucks.
Exactly.
One getting V-Bucks if I feel like it. I don't even buy them. You don't even buy V-Bucks all day. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I spend money the money that stuff I really need, like school supplies.
Well, yeah. And the reason it says school supply is because right now, the date as we're recording this video, back to school season is now back up, and everyone's now getting ready to head back to school. So yeah, that's why. By the way, stay in school, kids. Anyways, back to the disgusting matter. Another thing that I realized is that I've been noticing how much I've changed since the first day I've joined Crimson Defender's channel. I noted how much I've been a little bit more tougher than ever. How I believe in winning, just like how Crimson is. But then I made a mistake of thinking of that too much, to the point where I just went too overboard, and I just didn't balance it enough, and I kind of made Crimson Defender uncomfortable, which,
It's a good thing you noticed that.
in hindsight, I would like to apologize to Crimson all that. I am so sorry for the way I've been acting recently, and this was all a horrible mistake.
Yes, I do accept the apology, yet still not coming back to the squad, and you're like, wait, what? That, there's a different thing between respecting somebody and liking someone. That's all I have to say about that, at least.
I just hope I would change for the good, and I would never ever act like an out of control person ever again. Because for those who doesn't know, I've been going through a lot of mental issues recently, and I'm also going through a lot in the background too, with me being at home with family, and with school, which is coming up soon for me, and that's going to be the most challenging thing ever whenever I'm dealing with YouTube.
True, junior year is the hardest.
And things in personal life at the same time, and so does Oliver as well. And same with Crimson though, and Zero Brian, since we're literally just teens right now. Well,
yeah, also, there's also a thing where you have to balance stuff in your life. Like, right now, I'm going to have to balance band camp while also practicing for swimming in the winter, plus all that other stuff. So, plus trying to make YouTube videos for you guys. So, that's going to be difficult. Like I said, don't expect a lot of videos starting out in September, just because I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, and it's going to be very rough. But maybe in like October, November time, you'll see more videos, especially since this is the time that marching band is going to be ending and swimming is going to be starting. So we'll see.
Zero Brian's the only one who's a little kid, while us teenagers have to deal with life like at home and everywhere else. So unfortunately,
hey, I'm sorry, live, because I know this is going to be on YouTube. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm recording, by the way. You heard me? I'm recording, by the way. I am sorry, YouTube chat, we are back.
we're not always everywhere at the time, and there's always some times where I just get so stressed that I just really can't take it anymore, and I think that's the other reasons why I've been going through a lot. So yeah, but I just wanted to really apologize to Crimson about my recent actions, and I promise that I will start over. The normal supposed, the supposed hell that Crimson loves, the supportive supposed hell that has brought him so much joyful in the game. He won't even get mad at the game anymore because, well, I was there supporting him, and I was unfortunate to make a mistake that would soon change the way we have each other's relationship as friends for a long time. It's shockingly that he has to do this, as we've been friends for like 4 years now. Like the first time we met each other, we thought we would grow a huge connection for over the course of those years, and unfortunately, the one time where I hit a roadblock was when I actually went to freshman year. When I went to freshman year, unfortunately wasn't able to go to his school because we were separated out. I was going to another school, and Crimson went to a different school. Now we were only separated for a year until when our new school was finished built. We were finally reunited together. But we noticed how much we've been acting different before, much more older than usual.
let's just say one of us.
And
Actually,
I wasn't too ready to be like much of an old person guy, but I know I have to deal with it since sometimes
Mature.
we just gotta change for the good. But I realized the way I have changed, it really wasn't good than I thought. So I have figured for this time around, I've decided to change myself for the best and better guy. It's just like what Ryan Reynolds said. Don't be just a good guy, be a great guy. And that's something that I will learn to do from now on. For probably near the end of this year, and I hope that I will be reunited into the Sweatless Squad since Crimson has announced that I have. I know.
Unfortunately, no, because I've been looking for. That's that's probably one of the hardest things to find. People who play Fortnite, Rocket League, and Minecraft who are mature human beings. Most of them aren't. That sucks.
It may be small, and I kind of get it, but it's a good amount of chance where I can come back. Since technically, when Zerobrine was kicked out for the first time, he at least got a chance of coming back, even though the second chance really didn't go so well either. And I hope for my second chance.
And this is why I not falling for what I. And actually, Zerobrine gave a good lesson, which is kind of going to screw Suppose over for this one. But Zerobrine taught me that I kind of can't fall for this kind of stuff again. After Zerobrine ruined his second chance, he ruined almost everybody's second chance. So, if you get kicked out of Sweatless Squad and you don't come back, thanks Zerobrine for that.
That I hope I will change for the good and not be like Zerobrine, because I realized when I've been thinking about myself, I realized how much I've been changing and almost closely resemble Zerobrine, even though my main goal is to not beat him. So I have figured I just want to tell Crimson, if he's watching this right now, I really miss you, Crimson. Like, the way that we've been separated for so long, it's been devastating. Like, I never thought that I'd say this, but it's not the same without Crimson. In fact, Oliver Star really missed him so much too, because he's the only guy that I can depend on playing with him, because he's such a funny. He gives great.
And I'm also suffering too, because now we're both sides are pretty much suffering for the better of both of us, kind of. But both of us are really suffering because now I have absolutely zero people to play Fortnite with while I'm scrambling to try to find people. I think I might have found a few. But we'll see. It all depends.
Great advice and much more. And I just miss those good old times again, and I just wanted to be reunited with him again. And
Well, nobody said life was easy and never changes. Life always changes. Life always changes. We've had a big change here with family life, with one of our family members going through a lot of surgeries and almost nearly having cancer, and the other one pretty much becoming disabled after a couple surgeries too. And these are close family members. This is my father and my grandmother. So life is definitely tough.
when I saw his recent video called Peely Gets Shrifty, I did take note on what he said about me and how I could have a small percent chance of me coming back to the squad.
I stand by that.
Relieved at first, finding out that I have like a small chance, and I was concerned at first when he said likely not ever that I could come back. Now I really want to prove him wrong, since I really wanted to show him how much I appreciate him. In fact, if it weren't from him, I wouldn't even have a YouTube channel, like at all. And so does Oliver too, because if he wasn't inspired by Crimson, Oliver Star wouldn't have his channel either.
I could say the solution to this is just like Zerobrine. We wait a few years. We wait a few years for both you and Zerobrine to mature up to the level that me and your boy Trev and Shorty4543 are at currently. That's gonna take up to 5 years for either. but we will see, and I'll just play it by ear at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Oliver Star, what is your first impressions on how I was kicked out from the squad?
And yeah, this is
I'm gonna give you my impressions on that one too. I think it was actually a extremely evil way to go about it, and I'm actually sorry that it came out that evil. It almost came out like I was publicly humiliating, and it shouldn't have came out like that. And I'm sorry that it came out like that.
kind of confusing and yeah, it's kind of confusing and
I can actually explain.
Yeah.
So what happened was Oliver Star actually got a bit mad, and he actually was tensing to actually protest against Crimson because he
Yeah.
thought the way I was kicked out was unjustified and it was unnecessary, and that I should have been kicked out in the first place because Crimson should have understand that I.
Fair, but also this is another thing that people need to understand. I've heard it from Zero Brian, and I've even heard it from myself. It's some of this thing when you do something wrong, you're always willing to talk like you're not going to mess up again, like you're never going to mess up again. And I've seen countless times from countless amount of people that they've ended up doing it again after just a little bit of doing it right. And I've seen it from Zero Brian. I've seen it from myself. I've seen it from a lot. I've seen it from a lot of people, and everybody has that one person in their life that they were doing something wrong. They said they wouldn't do it again. They didn't for a little bit, and then went back to doing it again.
I've been going through a lot at the same time. I understand that he's been going through a lot too, and I understand that. That's why I always make sure that him and their family members are okay. So I don't know why me being kicked out was a solution, even though I had nothing to do with his family problems. One thing I already do notice is that I have to be prepared for what's about to come in the future. Like, if you don't know me, I have to learn how to drive soon, and I'm really nervous doing this because I'm not ready for what's about to come in the future. But yeah, so I understand taking a break could be probably the solution, but all I wanted to be is just back in the squad, because without Crimson, life or gaming life has never been the same without him. We've been struggling a lot through. Crimson Defender's the only guy that's actually a pro at this. In fact, recently in Rocket League, we're getting so unlucky because how much we're being beaten by so many teams. When Crimson left, it was even worse. And we've been struggling to the fact that we just begged Crimson to just come back because we actually needed his help. Because me and Oliver are struggling without having him. I understand that I also need to help him going through another mental struggle too, because first things first, he's dealing with anger issues that is likely getting worse throughout.
No, actually, that's part of the thing that I wasn't gonna talk about. That's part of the thing that I wasn't gonna talk about because it gets a little bit too personal. But let's just say I originally didn't have anger issues until about 4 years ago. I think you can see where I'm going with that. So
The whole rest of the month of this year,
because something I usually tend to do, I don't know why, but when I'm ever with a group of people, I usually tend to pick up their traits, which is actually where I usually picked up my sailor mouth from, because my friends over at the high school I went to in freshman year, most of them had sailor mouths, so I think you can kind of see where I got that anger issue kind of thing from.
That's one thing that I'm really worried about, because I don't want him lashing out at his mother, because that's one thing that I just don't want to happen in the future. So I would accept like a short break, probably for a week, but one thing that I just can't handle is me being alone. Well, even if I have my cousin here, it's really not the same without Crimson. He's the only guy that's actually more professional than us, and even if I think I am professional, it's just my own beliefs, and I know that my own beliefs is.
I'm saying this specifically to Suppose. If you actually work on it and you give yourself enough time and you work hard at it, you will be as professional as me. You can be as mature and professional, but you kind of have to really work at it.
Isn't like much true, because if I would have told myself, "Oh, I am better than everyone," I basically just turned into Dream, and I
No, you turn into a cocky Lightning McQueen kind of guy.
don't like being in Dream's footsteps. Okay, that's not who I am. I'm supposed to be the supportive, more special guy to, well, the Sweatless Squad, and that's one thing that I hope I can change myself into being a better person for Crimson. And yet again, I just want to apologize to you, Crimson. I'm so sorry that I've been acting this way, and I hope I can change myself to being a more better person than who I am. And Oliver Star Oliver Star also misses you, Crimson, even more, because like, he loves Crimson's jokes, and even if I sometimes don't take them seriously, I have to learn how to take the.
As I said, and I know this kind of sounds weird, but Oliver Star still can rejoin the squad if he wants to, because I haven't had any problems with him as much as I did with Suppose or Zero Brian throughout the years. But Oliver Star can still join, but I completely understand if you don't, because I mean, just look at earlier in this video. Do you really want to join after that? Okay, I'm joking.
The jokes very seriously. And plus, if I'd been noticing how much he's been through a lot, because how much in his channel he really hasn't won, well, anything in these competitions since I beat him in Camp Crimson. Solid Gold to 1v1v1, and I guess the race. And I know how much he doesn't want to talk about it, but
for your thing, I actually placed first. I placed first. I mean, not first, second in a solo match the other day. So
I have to bring it up just to let.
I almost won. He was like one shot though, for real.
I'm not trying to offend you,
like one shot or two shot.
But I'm just saying, and I just wanted to help out by giving him a chance of winning one of these competitions. Well, if we host another competition, and
I'll be doing it with most likely a different set of people eventually. I don't know how.
I will also be there to support you, Crimson. I just wanted to find a way to get your attention, since I've been noticing you've been ignoring us for so long. So yeah, I am really sorry about this, and Crimson, I just want you to know I really want to come back, because life being alone with not much of a group has been more struggling than what we thought it would be. So yeah, Crimson Defender, I hope we can reunite together as the best original duos in Crimson Defender's channel history. And we hope Oliver Star will join in too, and to help support each other, because we realize what we have done was a mistake, and we just want to start over from the beginning and be good friends, good friends. And yeah, and
it kind of does. Again, like I keep saying, it doesn't actually work like that. Again, if I see a whole bunch of people who view this video and this video gets like 5 to 10 likes, I will make a part 3 discussing on those parts that I did not discuss in part 2, the more personal things. So if you guys want to see that part 3, the personal stuff that's been happening behind the scenes, then go like that up, because there's more to that story. There's more to that story than Suppose Outlash in summer of 2021. There's more to that.
That's basically how it is. Now, Oliver Star, do you have anything else would you like to say about this situation?
Yeah. Now, first, I was mad about this situation. Then I started getting a bit confused. So,
yeah, it turns out Oliver Star was mad at first, and he actually protested by creating a duos called the Ghostly Duos, because what I did was a skit for the whole situation. I actually renamed myself from Supposed Tail to Supposed Ghost, because I'm like sad. I'm like sad in all ways.
Oh, I thought it was a protest against me because I like Shadow more than I like Ghost.
And such, And of course, Zerobrine just happened to go and ruin it all, and just
Actually, yeah, that video that I made, the future of the Sweatless Squad video, Zero Brian, can you please not comment stuff like that on these kind of videos? Somehow it was a video that should have been ruined by me, but was ruined by you instead. Please stay out of that, Zero Brian. This is not your battle.
well, just said he doesn't care. Which, in Zerobrine, if you're listening to this, freak you. Anyways, it turns out the ghostly duos wasn't working very well because
Yeah.
we just realized it really isn't the same without Crimson, because how much we actually missed him after all this. And another thing to note, I heard in the Shrifty video how much he thinks how he's free from me. I don't know why he has to say that, even though I should be the one saying I'm finally free from Crimson, because back before all this happened, Crimson, he will call us non-stop. He will call us every time just to either get on or talk about things that are gaming related. Now that never really bothered me, but I noticed that the excessive amount of calls we're getting, I noticed how much it keeps happening so often that it's happening while, believe it or not, one time I was in the bathroom, another time when I was doing the laundry and such, and yeah. So I don't understand why he has to say he's free from me when us should be the ones saying we're free.
Again, more to the story. If you really want to actually see part 3, then like this video up. If this video gets a considerable amount of likes, more likes than my videos usually get, then I will explain more. I will explain even more in depth in part 3. Eventually, I will make a part 3 because there just needs to be more that's be said, and there's more holes in it. There's still a lot of question marks and holes in this story. I know you guys are still wondering, so I still probably will end up making a part 3 eventually, but it just won't be right now.
Free from Crimson because he technically has been bothering us for quite a while, so that's why I don't get why he has to say that. Now, Crimson, I don't want it to make you angry, but I'm just saying, okay? I'm trying to do my best to do something that won't make Crimson angry, but then I realize that's going to be impossible since he's Crimson, the red Crimson that everyone knows how, yeah. Anyways, this is going to conclude today's video of why we...
Okay, and that's pretty much the end of the video. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen now. So, this is going to be the end of the video. I know it's a weird one, and I know it's probably a pretty heartbreaking video, but we will see you guys a little bit later. Crimson Defender out.